The following is a presentation of the ForceCenter podcast feed.
As Obi-Wan Kenobi once said, hello there and welcome to Databank Brawl, the podcast where we learn about Star Wars characters, discuss them, share our feelings about those characters, and then make those characters fight for our amusement and also yours. I'm your host. My name is Joseph Scrimshaw. With me, as always, is the same amount of whiskey and Ken Napzok.
Clink, 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 clink. We're here ready to do some Databank Brawling.
Yeah, that was totally inaccurate. There's one and only Ken Napzok, and we each have whiskey. So 2 whiskeys, 1 Ken Napzok.
Fresh whiskey I bought at the store specifically for Databank Brawl. We need a sponsorship deal with these companies.
Yeah, we really do. This is nice, fresh Bushmills. Fresh Bushmills today. And this is an episode that is getting back to basics. We've had some really fun episodes. We did our solo mini tournament. We had wonderful guests, Alex and Molly from Star Wars Explained. Back to the basics. You, me, some whiskey, and some cool characters, some weird characters fighting.
Fighting. Love it.
Are you ready for your first combatant?
Sir, let's do it.
I don't know if you're fully ready for this first combatant, because I think you're going to have emotions. So,
okay.
So brace yourself.
It's not one of those, like, let me dig into the droid's name. It is, let's deal with the emotional impact.
Yeah. This isn't the door droid.
Okay.
This is a very special combatant. This is Tallie Lintra.
Oh, my heart. Be still.
Yeah, many people love good old Tallie. Here is what StarWars.com Databank has to say about Tallie Lintra. Hailing from Pip 3,
the greatest planet.
Pip 3, young Lieutenant Tallie Lintra is one of the Resistance's best pilots, impressing even Poe Dameron with her flying skills. Tallie leads a hastily assembled squadron of A-Wings and X-Wings above Dakar, protecting the Resistance's vulnerable bombers on their attack run against a First Order siege dreadnought. So, as Databank entries go, it gives us a little bit. It gives us Pip 3, tells us that Poe respects her, but other than that, it is a list of what she did in the movie.
A list of plot points. Yeah, indeed. Well, I this is just, I have a lot to say about this character, and sometimes I don't know why.
She's really electric, just her performance.
She is. Hermione Corfield is the actress that plays her, and there's just something beyond, all right, she's an attractive young lady, right? That's great, fine, I can start there. It goes beyond that. There's just something about her expressions, her expressive face, even her last moments before she dies. This smirk that just got a lot of character to it. And then you tie that in, and what I do is I look at these characters. Admiral Raddus, we all know I love Admiral Raddus. It isn't just because, I start with the point of like, oh, I like the voice of that character. And then I like, oh, what is that? What does this character mean to Star Wars? There's just something great about Tallie Lintra, a young female pilot who is at a position of power in the Resistance, who was raised on a farming planet by her father, who had an A-Wing that he turned into a crop duster. And you start hearing all this, and then I love that that's what the Resistance is now. It is a new form of the rebellion. It is a new generation coming forward to fight an oppressive power. And so there's a lot there to this character. And then, she's got the first quote I remember from Last Jedi. Bombers keep that type formation. Fighters protect the bombers. It just stood out to me.
It's so quotable.
Yeah.
It's going to be on your tombstone.
Yes.
Yeah. So you rattled off some information about Tallie that I didn't know. Is that coming from Wikipedia? Where's the source?
It is from Wikipedia. Now, where they source, of course, from little books and everything. I'm going down to her Bomber Command.
Oh, right.
She's in that expanded edition. There's a little bit more. The scene plays out a little different. Her end plays out a little different in the novel, Jason Fry's novel. So I think some of the information comes from there too. She's more laying down, like, not daydreaming. I'm trying to remember myself. So anyway, I think it's cobbled together with a lot of things. Yeah,
cool. And can you give, for people who can't picture Tallie Lintra, what do you have for what she visually looks like, her stats?
Yeah, Hermione Corfield plays her, so she is a young British actress, and she's got brunette hair. And she's got a flight suit. She's always in a flight suit because that's kind of all we've seen her. But she's got underneath the flight suit, if you look at it, she has like a scarf. I'm looking at it really for the first time.
Oh, yeah, a little bit more of that, the World War I flying ace vibe.
Yeah. Excellent thought there. No height. I imagine she is smaller, but they don't.
Probably 1.8, right? Almost all the humans are 1.8.
Yeah. Eye color blue, hair color, like I said, blonde, and born. Wow.
Wait a minute, hair color blonde or brunette? This is important.
Oh, I said brunette. I said brunette. That's my mistake. It's a dirty blonde.
She's a dirty blonde. Okay, so they're still not willing to commit in Star Wars to full blonde.
Full blonde, yeah. And then born 12 years after the Battle of Yavin.
Oh, wow. So young. So young.
Yes, so young. Died 34 years after the Battle of Yavin on the Radis in the Ochi system. I never really paid attention to where that was.
Dakar's in... Oh, I thought it was in the Ilenium
system. Well... That's a good question. Well,
Yeah.
I guess the Radis jumped, right?
Right, exactly. The Radis jumped.
So it went from the Ilenium system to the Ochi system.
Oof, that was a close call. I'm sure people were screaming, "You fools! You fools! The jump!"
fools.
Yeah. All right. So you shared a little bit about why you love her. Yeah. I really think that there is a whole school of acting at this point in our society in filmmaking that is CGI acting, or even cockpit acting more specifically.
That's great.
She is one of the best cockpit actors ever. She gives every line nuance and flair. My favorite is the bombs are away with that weird head tilt. That weird, like she's so happy. It's almost like we're all gonna drink some beers tonight. There's just like there's a joy in it of like bombs are away. She just gives so much life, and you can just tip the iceberg storytelling. You can just infer what an interesting person this must be. What a person to fly with you to give you confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's another great moment there too. I think. So what's the journey to really liking Tallie began when they kind of released images and footage because. Some stuff. I don't leak, but it was officially from Lucasfilm at one point. The evacuation of Dakar is under the leadership of Tallie Lintra. Like we heard this, right?
Yeah.
So I knew her name going into the theater. So you're already kind of keyed in. Well, that could mean nothing. It could just be a character that pops in the background. And to see her have some personality, some spirit that bombs away is a great moment there. And then that tragic smirk before she dies. Just a fighter pilot looking at her buddy, the dude from Lost or not Lost, no, the dude from Rian Johnson brings to a lot of movies. It's his version of Snap Wexley. Is the pilot she's looking at. All that kind of stuff. And it just all added up to great, intriguing character.
Yeah. And I was excited because they had the A-Wing Last Jedi toy that was out before the movie. And when I first saw it, I was just like, that's cool. They've got a generic pilot. It's awesome that they made it a woman. And then when I looked closer, like, oh, Tallie.
Tallie, yeah.
Knowing that you can get an action figure of Tallie Lintra in her A-Wing and you can also fly around going, bombs are away. All right, so this is always hard when we really like a character.
Yeah.
Who are they going to face? And I think...
That's the end of the show, right? All right, cool.
It kind of could be. I didn't do a good job because I think, Ken, you are going to have zero emotional attachment to the next combatant. The next combatant are the beloved duo that everyone in Star Wars knows so very well, the Grammus sisters. Here's what StarWars.com Databank has to say, and then we'll learn more about the old Grammus sisters. A pair of eccentric performance artists, Rombi and Parallella Grammus, have caused a stir in Canto Bight with their striking appearance and odd mannerisms. The sisters claim to be from another dimension and sometimes speak in a seemingly unknown language. Among other oddities, they're famous for being the only known source of a legendary vintage of wine.
Okay. I'm going to need some help.
Yep.
First of all, I'm going to need to spell it again correctly.
Oh, you mean not even processing, just finding them?
Find it.
Okay. The Grammus sisters. Grammus sisters.
Okay.
Did you got them pulled up?
Rombi and Parallella Grammus are showing up here.
Okay, there you go. So these are weird Canto Bight characters that I have become attached to.
I mean, wow. This is one of the times here. I didn't read the book Canto Bight, so I'm sure you might fill in a little bit more for me. This is the first time I'm seeing these characters ever.
Okay.
Yeah. They're not even in the background am I recognizing them.
They're in the visual dictionary, but without any sort of story to attach to. Some of those visual dictionary characters, it's hard to remember, right?
Skip by them, yep.
You just skip by them.
Yep.
So let's just start with the visual, because they are a hell of a visual. Can you just give a nice, juicy description?
They look like Season 2 Star Trek. Kirk's going to kiss one of them. The other one will punch him. They are in, so Romby and Parallella Grammus, they're in dresses that are shaped like their names to start with. So Parallella is kind of in a parallelogram-shaped dress, and we've got a good rhombus-shaped dress for Romby. This is also Star Wars tradition.
Yeah.
Then that's the entry point. Is all right. Their dresses are neat and different. Their faces are very humanoid / alien looking kind of face, like they would be in Men in Black. But then their entire heads go back, almost like a Ferengi ear with some horns, but the horns kind of come up from their head and face back. It looks like they have wind-blown hair that's actually their faces. That's the best way I can describe it.
And they're pale white.
Very pale, milky white faces.
Yeah,
yes.
to me they have, that's a great description of their weird windswept heads. But they do have a kind of little horny, and I know what I said. I said.
You stand by it.
And yeah, weird stretched out faces. There's something about them that looks kind of elfish to me. I don't.
The ears,
elvish.
elvish. Yes, the ears are pointed, so it's windswept.
Yes, that's where it is.
Ferengi, their cheekbones kind of fold back into their ears, but then they have a little Vulcan elf point.
Yeah, and they do look like they would be mean to you at a party.
Oh, they both look like they're judging me from these pictures.
Yep, totally.
They are a little bit of what kind of spaceship do you drive?
All right, so I'll share a little bit of who they are from the Canto Bight book. Most of this is from the Canto Bight book, but I just love that they're performance artists.
Okay.
And they're con artists too, and they're in a story where they're all trying to get this specific bottle of super valuable wine from a space sommelier, basically. And everything in Canto Bight is being turned upside down. But they play on people's sort of this exotic, rich environment of Canto Bight, and play on people's paranoia of like they just got to be from some weird backwards planet, right?
Okay.
But they really play that like, no, we're ethereal. You can't know us. You don't know us. You know what they remind me of? Like early in her career, when Lady Gaga was really always wearing costumes, and you never
Meat
really
suits.
just saw, Stephanie. I can't remember her last name. Jaramata. I can't say her last name correctly because I can't say any last names correctly. But like now Lady Gaga's in movies, and there's her face. She's touring with Tony Bennett.
Yeah.
But early on, that was part of the mystique of like, who or what is this real person under all of this
That's a good way to
armor
look at it.
and mystique,
Right.
And I love introducing that kind of art from our real world, just like I love Sabine being like a graffiti artist.
Right.
I love adding that into Star Wars in this small way of these kind of exotic, rich performance artists.
Which is one of the things I really love about Canto Bight as a setting on the planet of Cantonica. Like that's what it should be. This weird Vegas-y money, but also crime and all this stuff kind of rolled into one. It should be kind of weird stuff, weird Star Wars. So I like that.
Yeah. All right. So you're feeling okay about the Grammus sisters?
I'm feeling okay. I don't know where this is going to go. This might be the 20-second Databank Brawl where Tallie just walks in and shoots them. But no. We'll play it out here. I'm intrigued. I like this. I don't know where they go.
I should say that in the Canto Bight book, they are portrayed as very formidable. Like people are afraid to cross them. They do have tricks up their sleeves, and people are a little frightened of what they might. They take someone hostage.
Okay.
All sorts of scary stuff. Like real performance artists. always taking people hostages. All right. Well, with all of that information,
right.
Let's fight. Here is how we always begin, the where and the when. We like to do it when our beloved characters are still alive. So, Tallie Lintra.
Live in a world where Tallie's living.
Yeah. And, we're going to be doing a lot of fights probably that use the weirdos from Canto Bight because it's a rich vein. I don't want to feel like we always have to go to Canto Bight.
Yeah.
Tallie is a woman of the galaxy, a person of the galaxy. So this could happen anywhere.
On a mission.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think here, because I always go to Coruscant, and I don't want to do that either. I just like Coruscant.
It's a beautiful place.
Beautiful place. It's a whole city. I think that Tallie is on some kind of reconnaissance mission for the Resistance, and she is going deep into the inner rim, the core worlds.
Ooh, I like this. You know what? Let's just go crazy. Let's just go to Naboo.
I like this.
Why not?
Okay, I like this. There's an event or a party.
Yeah.
For some political leaders, and Tallie's got to get there to get to the queen of the time.
Yeah, the current queen of Naboo at this time, who is Queen Jackzilla.
Queen Jackzilla. I like that. Formidable name.
Oh, yeah, Jackzilla. That sounds scary, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Is Tallie there to try to get money from Queen Jackzilla to just convince the queen to put pressure on senators to support the resistance?
I think Tallie is there to recruit from the private security force, but also come to the queen and say, look, my boss, General Leia, is, got Naboo blood in her.
Yeah.
Please join our fight.
Yeah, she could technically come back here and say, I want to take over.
Yeah.
I guess not.
No, it's an
democratic.
It's an elected position, but
she still could. She could run.
She could run.
For government.
I just thought of a great Claudia Gray book. I never thought I wanted.
Yeah, Leia goes back to Naboo. That'd be pretty awesome. I know she does at other places in canon. Anyway, remind me again, because I think this is important, what you said about Tallie's background. What kind of planet is Pip-Pip 3?
Pip-Pip 3 is, I'll click on that here in a second. She lived on a farm with her father there.
Okay.
So it is a little kind of rural planet. It's a homeworld. Not much is listed. Direhounds and Wheelays were known to live on Pip-Pip 3.
Direhounds?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Mentioned
very close to it's a copyright infringement planet. All right.
But yes, farming, definitely. Whether or not the whole planet was a, quote, farm planet.
Okay.
In Star Wars, our planets are one thing. She was on her father's farm.
Okay, so she's a hard worker.
Yeah, hard worker, farm girl.
Rural. The whole planet's rural. Cool. Excellent. All right, so Tallie lands at this party. She lands her A-Wing, and she marches in. Is she wearing her flight suit?
Yes.
Just to make a statement, right?
The scarf is out a little bit more, though.
Oh, yeah, the scarf is...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's flowing. It's great.
Yeah.
And she is trying to make her way to this audience with the queen.
Yeah. Jackzilla.
Queen Jackzilla.
Yeah.
And she thinks, well, I'm going to show her that I'm just a normal person. I'm going to stop at the bar, and I'm just going to grab a drink.
Oh, Tallie likes a good drink.
Yeah, drinks are away, she says, when she gets one.
Bartender, pour the drinks. Tallie, protect the drinks. Did you talk to yourself in the third person? I did.
I think she does. I think she always talks in that inspirational way with lots of energy.
A lot of head movements there.
Yeah,
Bartender,
keeping everybody excited about their job.
Hit me.
Amazing job.
Yeah.
At pouring those drinks. Keep it coming.
Drinks away.
So she gets her drink, and she goes marching to Queen Jackzilla. She's, you know what? This being at a party is like being a fighter pilot. You weave through both the actual physical people, and you also look for the perfect opportunity to strike. She has been holding formation, waiting until nobody was talking to Queen Jackzilla, and then she's dive in. She's like, Tallie away. And she starts marching, and suddenly, shunk, literally the space closes as these weirdly dressed, pale ladies step in front of her. Now, the Grammus sisters are both wearing long, flowing, silky scarves.
Okay.
And I think Romby says, this party is where we are wearing, and then Parallella finishes the sentence, scarves. And they take turns saying different parts of the sentences.
Oh, boy.
And they say, we are the scarf wearers at this party. You have to take yours off.
And Tallie's like, Hey girls, nice scarves. Looks good. I'm not here for you guys. I got a lot of more important things to do this party. We'll talk later, maybe over at the apps table or something like that. That's good. All right, that's good. Have fun. You guys are away. Scarf sisters away. And tries to go around them.
And she starts going around them, and I think as she nudges past them, they both, being performance artists, make a big show of Tallie bumping them. And they go, oh, and they spill their own drinks all over their fancy dresses at this nice party.
They flop like they're in the World Cup.
That's right. And they're like, and they point at Tallie, and there's a hush that comes over the room. Oh, and like, she spilled on us.
Does the queen hear this?
Oh yeah, everybody hears this. People are kind of on their toes when the Grammus sisters are there because they never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, the new governor of Naboo, Tio Bibble, turns around and is like, "We've never had this kind of fighting at a party before. It can only mean one thing: a fight.
Spillage leads to fights." I think
damage is catastrophic.
Yeah, I think Tio's a real worrier.
Yeah.
Super bad worrier. And I think before Queen Jaxilla can even say this, people are like, oh no, fight.
Yeah.
The people of Naboo are, at this point, they've become very conflict avoidant. They don't want more terror.
Peaceful people.
They want more terror. People are scattering. They're getting behind the tables. They are calling their loved ones on their comm links. They're frightened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think Tallie turns around and is just like, this is ridiculous. Where I come from, you call it as you see it. I got an eagle eye. I'm one of the best pilots in the Resistance. I didn't spill your drinks. I didn't come anywhere near you. Believe me, if I wanted to hit your elbows, I could do it from across the room with my eyes. I'm a great shot. I didn't do this.
Yeah.
And this is making people even more frightened. And I think the Grammus sisters know that theater is up their alley, so they make a strange undulating noise. They go, and a random dude from Naboo.
Oh yeah.
He stands up and he's like, I must obey their command. He pulls out a blaster and he fires at Tallie.
Oh wow. And Tallie ducks out of the way, and the blaster bolt hits up against a repurposed battle droid that had been left there, and it's now like serving drinks, and it's like 40th year, 50th, 60th, whatever it is, of serving drinks. This thing's going. It's like Mr. Bones, but with drinks.
It's Mr. Drinks.
It's Mr. Drinks, as it is. And boom, and it hits, and it knocks his drink table.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, bye. Drinks go everywhere. Tio Bibble's like freaking out. We've got Marsh Panaka. He's the third cousin of Quarsh Panaka. He grabs the queen and takes her into a secret hiding spot. Which now Tallie's mad.
He's like, I must protect the queen.
Yeah. I can only protect you. We cannot win this war. And he like yanks her off. And Tallie's mad because she's supposed to talk to the queen.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
And somebody's firing at her. And he's like, are you a part of the First Order? She says, as she, I think, pulls out her own blaster. Ken, what does Tallie do to retaliate? Does she shoot at this old Naboo guy? Does she shoot at the Grammus sisters? Does she try something else first?
She's not overly familiar with the ways of the Force, but she believes in some kind of other powers. And she right away recognizes this guy he wasn't the problem.
Yeah.
So I think how close is this guy to her? I'm trying to set the scene here.
Like 20 feet.
Oh, okay.
Maybe there's some room.
So she can't really do anything to him, but she fires 2 warning shots into the dresses of the Grammus sisters.
Oh, she takes out their shapes.
Yeah, so Parallela and Rombi are more like triangles now. Or, classic triangle shapes.
Yeah, and I think they're like,
Yeah.
Our shapes are our identity. Where we've come from, a different universe, shapes our identity. And this whatever sway they have over this older Naboo gentleman, he starts foaming at the mouth, and he starts firing at Tallie, and she twirls and dances, and that poor Mr. Drinks, he's getting hit, he's getting peppered. Lots of little
No.
I lived through the Clone Wars for this.
Tallie runs towards this guy.
Yeah.
She's serpentining along the way.
Serpentining.
And then in one move, this is what she grabs the scarf off her own neck.
Mm-hmm.
And as she kind of unfurls the scarf, she does a one-handed cartwheel
Nice.
into a springboard and lands in front of the guy and wraps the scarf around his neck and flings him to the ground.
Oh, I love this. Right. Yeah, she spins him. He cracks his head on that nice Naboo floor. It's beautiful, but hard. And he's like, "Oh,
Definitely got a concussion.
What's happening? I have no idea what's going on." Mm-hmm. So he seems out of it, and as Tallie, in her kindness, is helping him to his feet, the Grammus sisters themselves are on her.
Yeah.
Suddenly, coming out from their now triangle-shaped dress, their hands, and they might be applied, but they're long talons.
Do they have webbed hands as well, like webbed fingers?
It seems like they should.
With talons.
Webbed fingers, webbed hands with talons. Maybe like the Star Wars version of Lee press-on talons.
Yes, that's fair.
But these, suddenly 4 arms full of talons are on Tallie.
4 arms of talons. They grab onto Tallie, and both of them, let's pull her across the floor. They're just like Shatner. They pull her across the floor and back into the middle, because she kind of gone off to the left where this guy was.
Yeah.
Now the whole court is around that middle circle,
just in fear. Yeah, and I think they are they're clawing at her. And the truth is, one of the ways that they get people to obey them is they have these weird chemicals in their claws.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay.
That are basically a psychoactive chemical.
Yeah.
It can make people vulnerable to the suggestions of the Grammus sisters, and they are clawing at her scarf. They're clawing at everything, and Tallie is trying to avoid these, but it's starting to cut. They haven't actually cut her flesh yet, and Tallie realizes that she needs an advantage,
right?
Which is to be mobile.
Yeah.
So I think she's such an expert with that scarf. I think she's
like Indiana Jones with scarves.
That's right. Yeah, she
whips.
She uses it to sort of tie up their hands to get them off for a second.
Oh yeah.
And she sees what she needs. She sees Mr. Drinks hovering behind a floating cart, an anti-grav
cart. I want one of those right now.
And Tallie realizes, I excel when I'm piloting.
Yeah.
So she jumps on the anti-grav.
Oh wow.
Drinks cart and pilots it into
the music
battle.
Cue that's hitting right now.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Carts away. What
What
does she do now that she's in her element?
So she's on the cart, the Navicart. She's got the scarf wrapped around their hand still.
That's tied up.
Oh,
I think they left it behind it.
They left it behind.
Yeah.
Got it.
They're struggling out, clawing away.
She jumps on the Navicart, and she realizes it's almost like one of those little, hoverboards that were all the rage until they started catching on fire in offices around the world. If you step forward a little bit, it moves.
Oh, like the Segway.
Yeah, little Segway, little thing. So, so she gets the hang of it. Whoa. Okay, and Mr. Drinks is like, "But that's my cart, please, don't. Oh." And she takes a big circle and starts doing her attack run.
Oh yeah, she's bobbing and weaving, right?
Not every day we get to take down some Grammus sisters. And she's, if Poe could see me now.
Yeah. And I think she realizes, I need some things to fire. Oh, there's still drinkware on the bottom of this. So she's making basically like strafing runs where she's throwing these glasses, and the Grammus sisters are having to block and block and block. And I think the Grammus sisters have another trick up their sleeve, literally up their dresses. I think they both pull out this big, weird piece of equipment. They slam it together, and it's like a large cannon.
Yeah.
Huge, large ion cannon.
Oh, wow.
And they start firing pew, 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 at this combined ion cannon. And they're trying to hit the cart to depower it, but at the same time, the eon blasts are hitting the walls, and they're spelling Ichuta while also firing at her. That's how
People
committed
are
they are to their art. Of like,
people like, this is performance.
actually quite impressive, terrifying, and impressive.
Yeah.
But
Teal's like, such language.
that vulgarity can mean only one thing: indecency.
That's a winner.
How does Tallie counter this large cannon?
Well, here's the thing. She gets hit. The tray eventually gets hit.
The cart gets hit.
Boom. The cart. It hits her right. She's racing towards them. It hits, and she sees and senses it. She's, you could make a case. She's not force sensitive, but she's got some instincts.
Oh, yeah. Pilots have to.
She has to. So, boom, the tray is knocked underneath her, but she moves forward. She leaps forward into a little somersault tuck, like a cannonball almost. Springs out of it and does a double clothesline onto the sisters.
Oh, nice. With her own arms, just right in their strange, warped, Ferengi elf heads.
Yes, and knocks them both to the ground. She goes a crashing too. Skids along the way.
Yeah.
And lands right next to Corporal Typho. He's a family member. He's getting up there in the ranks.
Yeah.
Fourth generation.
He has 2 eye patches. Yeah. He's not very good at his job.
He's not good at his job.
So he's trying. He Anyway.
He yells, "What's happening?" And Tallie stands up and kind of almost ends up in like a superhero pose.
Yeah.
And she looks around with a smirk. And she's like, yeah. And people are like, that's even better
very good, too.
The gymnastics performed here today are amazing.
And people are starting to go like, is this planned? Is this choreographed?
For that queen and Jaxilla? Queen Jaxilla, man. She puts on a good show.
Puts on a good show.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good point to pause in our combat. We know what Tallie wants. Tallie she doesn't want to be disrespected. She wants to get to Queen Jaxilla. She wants to get some resources for the resistance. The Grammus sisters want to keep up their appearance. They want to have people respect and fear them.
Yeah.
But who do we think would win this combat? Who do we want to win? Have we managed to do anything to make ourselves feel
well, I'll say this.
better about the Grammus sisters?
The Grammus sisters are intriguing. They're different. They are formidable a little bit here. There's some. They could easily hit her with that blaster.
Yeah.
So I could see a chance where they're winning. But obviously, I'm going to vote for Tallie, but not just for Tallie, but for the sake of the resistance.
Yeah.
She deserves this victory.
Yeah, I feel like there is a world where the Grammus sisters, if they were allowed to pull out all of their tricks, that they could beat this one lone resistance pilot. But morally, everything is on Tallie's side. We want Tallie to have a victory.
Totally.
And I think we can spin this story however we want. I think maybe part of what is on Tallie's side is if this were happening on Cantobite or whatever, a less moral place than Naboo, the Grammus sisters would have an advantage. But Tallie, from being a fighter pilot, knows it's about yourself, but it's working together. Right. And she knows Naboo is a place of honor. And I think she realizes that she can use that to her advantage.
So she, with all eyes on her, stands up and says, "Everyone stop!" The Grammus sisters are like, "Oh," she's like, "Let me tell you something. I don't want to hurt them. But there's a bigger problem in the galaxy. And one of your own needs all of your help. And that's all I'm here for." And a good drink. I mean, who wouldn't be here for a drink, right? And you just hear in the background, Mr. Drinks is like, "I can't serve right now." So I'll call a truce and not hurt anyone if I can get you guys to listen to the plea of the resistance. I just need the queen out here. That's all I want. She looks over at Marsh Panaka. Is that different from the other Panaka?
No, it's still the same Panaka.
Okay. Can I get the queen out here? You, eye patches. What? Who's talking? Can you get the queen out here? That's all I want, is an audience with the queen. And then I won't hurt these wonderful, talented performers in front of all of you here today.
And I think that what do you have an idea of what's next?
No.
Okay, good. I think not to pull back the curtain. I just couldn't tell from your eyes.
I stared off into the distance, hoping I did.
I think Marsh agrees to this. He's like, yes,
Okay.
the Queen would like to hear your ideas. And the Grammus sisters nod benevolently. So Marsh marches the Queen back in. But the Grammus sisters, many performance artists depend on being unpredictable.
Right.
So just as the Queen gets into position to be like, I would like to hear your request, the Grammus sisters suddenly go, they start singing a weird song. They're trying to convince people it's from a different dimension. Just weird stuff, really discordant. And they both stick out their hands, and those talons on their fingers fire.
Oh, wow.
Into the crowd. And they stick into people's necks, immediately making them servants of the Grammus sisters.
Wow, it's like a cult now.
Yeah. And
American Horror Story.
I know, it's terrifying. And then those nice people of Naboo suddenly are like, get the pilot, get the pilot. And they start running towards her. But the rest of the people who didn't get poisoned, they see the truth now. They see the Grammus sisters are just being troublemakers.
They're a problem.
And that Tallie is the true hero.
Yeah.
So I think the other people in Naboo start doing something unthinkable, fighting each other.
Fighting each other. It's horrible. And the fighting is a lot like the CGI of the Gungans and the droids. They're all looking like the same in the background. They're just pushing each other back
There's
and
a lot
forth.
of there's a lot of pushing and wrestling.
Pushing
yes.
and wrestling. It looks like the same person's over there fighting. A lot of that's just going on.
Yeah, grabbing each other's shoulders and tussling. A lot of shoulder tussling.
You call it a Naboo tussle.
But Tallie gets fed up.
Yeah.
And says, Queen, I am going to end this.
Yeah.
And I think that she does classic fight maneuver. It works well in a plane, in a fighter. It works well in person. It's a roll.
Yes.
I think she rolls on the floor. She comes up under the Grammus sisters, does a big uppercut to both of them. Dunk! And I think they both go flying onto their backs.
Yes.
Whomp.
Whomp. Knocked out cold.
I think they crack their heads on that hard
good
floor.
Punch to the chin, and plus with the head hit,
Yeah.
the Grammus sisters are out cold.
Yeah, and I think Tallie says, I learned that on Pip Pip 3.
Yay! I think she turns around. She's got her hands up high because Tallie's got personality. She's like, wow, that was great. Like you said, Pip Pip 3. She turns around and looks, and I think everyone slowly stops fighting and then starts clapping.
They start clapping, yeah.
Yeah. Some think it's a show. Some are impressed by the victory here or the punch. And then it's a round of applause.
Yeah, and the people who had been poisoned, they pull the talons out with the Grammus sisters unconscious.
Right.
This is totally just that they are released from the spell, the influence.
Right.
And I think Tallie then goes to Jaxilla.
Yeah.
And does she get what she wants?
She goes to the Queen and says, Queen, in the name of your long-lost sister, Leia, Leia Organa, Leia Solo, and Leia Amidala, we ask for you to help. Send someone, send credits, send something, send a ship, send something back with me. And the Queen's looking at her, and there's a pause. Tallie's not sure if she's going to get the help she needs. And then from the far back corner of the room, she hears something. Misha thinks the Naboo and the Gungans can help. It's Boss Nass III.
Wow, nice.
Like my father's father before me. Misha gonna be sending lots of help to the resistance. Tallie looks around. Who is that? He steps forward. The Queen looks at him, looks at her. It's like, we will help. We'll send troops and money and weapons your way.
All right, so they get help from the Naboo and the Gungans.
And the Gungans.
And I think Tallie gets back on her ship with some credits, with some rendezvous location given to the Naboo and the Gungans.
Yeah.
She is flying away on... she in her A-Wing?
She's got her A-Wing, yeah.
She's in her A-Wing.
Yeah.
And she hears something weird. And she looks outside and she realizes someone else is clinging to the outside of the A-Wing. And it is Mr. Drinks.
I want to serve elsewhere. I want to serve the galaxy.
And Tallie, of course, returns to the Resistance, a true hero. Meanwhile, the Grammus sisters get a pat on the wrist from the Naboo government, right?
Yeah.
A slap on the wrist.
Slap on the wrist.
A pat on the wrist is even nicer.
They come to, everyone, T.O. Bibble's looking down on them. I don't know if your particular brand of entertainment is going to be welcome here anymore. I think that's when the sisters look at each other and think, we need to go to Canto Bight.
Yeah. And they head off to Canto Bight. And during the events of The Last Jedi, the Grammus sisters put on a play, a strange, abstract performance art recreation of this very fight, honoring the vicious power of what they call Little Scarf Woman.
Ode to Little Scarf
Ode
Woman.
to Little Scarf Woman. That performance is going on right during the events of Last Jedi. And as Finn and Rose run past it at one point, they don't even realize that they are seeing a tribute to the fallen hero of the Resistance, Tallie Lintra.
R.I.P. Tallie. R.I.P.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story. We learned a lot about Naboo.
We did.
In their poor naming conventions.
But they have a respect for legacy.
Absolutely. They respect legacy, and they're not that inventive. And that's fine when it comes to names. Inventive in plenty of other ways. That was a great fight. That was really, really fun. I had no idea what would happen with that one. And I got some more coming up that I've already planned that I also have no idea. We're going to have more weird adventures like this. They still haven't added some of the weirdos from Solo.
Really?
As soon as they start adding those weirdos,
that.
all the people hanging out at the lodge, all the people hanging out on the First Light is the name of the yacht, right? Dryden Voss's yacht.
Yeah.
We'll have some more Solo content coming soon, but we got a lot of other weirdos to play with until then. If there are characters that you want to see fight, let us know with the hashtag Databank Brawl. We're always excited to hear what people want to see. Ken, where can people find you?
Hey, you can find me at Ken Napzok across all social media platforms, including Twitch and Instagram TV, for what it's worth.
For what it's worth. And as always, we'd like to thank Tony Thaxton for our theme music. He wrote the theme for Databank Brawl and many of our other shows. You can check out his Patreon where he writes Star Wars music. That's at patreon.com. Tony Thaxton. Our Patreon is, of course, patreon.com/ForceCenter. You can also go to tpublic.com/user/ForceCenter for all of our awesome merch. If you want to buy one of our shirts or make a notebook or whatever, let us know. Tweet us, and we will reshare that image. You can, of course, find episodes of Databank Brawl right on YouTube. You can find all of my stuff on my website, josephscrimshaw.com, my podcast Obsessed. Lots of live shows and comedy albums. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram. It's at Joseph Scrimshaw. You can like ForceCenter on Facebook and follow us on Twitter is at ForceCenterPod. And until next time, as Luke Skywalker once said, well, no one was really listening to him, I care. That's it for Databank Brawl.